Alright, this is going to be a little project for you guys that you guys can go ahead and do with a very, very small amount of fireworks. This is going to be a base. Basically what you could do with this is you can multiply it as many times as you want and put it in a bigger container. You can go as to this size. This is huge. You pretty much can go to a craft store and get something like this size or something like this. But for this scale, we're going to do a small scale, easy. Everybody could do it if they want to practice it or, you know, get used to messing with stuff. The things you'll need are a paper towel roll or toilet paper roll. Just don't waste toilet paper towels trying to get to it. Electrical tape, preferably duct tape works, just not as well. And any type of tape, I guess, will work. But electrical tape that has a high burning point, which obviously you're not gonna beat the heat of a firework, but every little bit helps. That doesn't melt. Electrical tape, crackle balls, preferably a new pack, and a piccolo Pete or whistling phantom or anything that screams that has flash powder in it. It's the easiest place to get flash powder, really. You could, I guess, get a bunch of firecrackers and get that powder out of there, but that's just a pain in the butt. Everybody has these, at least I know. Everybody loves these. So, now that if you guys have one piccolo Pete and at least 3 or more crackle balls, you'll be good. You can even use one and it just won't be that good. But anyway, so basically, this amount of flash powder is probably more than we need, but we're going to use it all anyways. And crackle balls, we're going to use all 6. So, anyways, now that we have our everything we need, I have a leftover fireworks stand that I'm going to use. You may have to improvise with cardboard, but anyways, so let's get into the first step, which is making the tube. First step, all we need is our base. You can use a piece of cardboard out of a cardboard box, bottle cap, you name it. But this is from a fountain that I use, so we're going to go ahead and use it because it fits perfect. You'll also need something to poke a hole with, but we'll get to that in a second because we're going to want to tape over this first. So basically, get your good old tape, and we just want to do a light kind of surrounding the tube and tape all the way around, just because this is cardboard and we're dealing with fire, and fire plus cardboard generally do not get along. So that's how it's going to look. Now, how do we get this to stay? More tape! So basically, now that we have everything taped, we start it there. And now this is the hard part, is the wrapping of the stand to get it to stay on the firework base. Now, you kind of want this to have a little bit more tape than what we used on everything else, and make sure it's tight, because this is what's going to be holding all the powder in at the bottom. So we don't want this going anywhere. A lot of people don't have dumbbell weight laying around. You can use clay, rocks, clay preferably, kind of to anchor it down. You basically just need something heavy at the bottom. Anything will do. Just something so when it goes off here, it doesn't fly sideways. You want it to stay face up. So there we go. We got our tube. Now, we don't have a fuse yet, because we're assuming that we're going to get the fuse out of here. So, next step is gathering the gunpowder or flash powder out of the piccolo Pete and dragon egg out of the crackle balls. Whatever you want to call it, we'll go to that step right now. Alright, first things first, I recommend laying down some paper, newspaper, anything, or do it in a box. Anything that prevents, or do it outside even, anything that prevents the powder from getting on the carpet, floor, cement, whatever you want to call it. Basically, you're going to need some paper. I forgot that in the introduction, but you want to get a couple of sheets of paper so it's a little bit more thick, or if you have like construction paper where it's a pretty thick and durable piece of paper. Fold it in half, like so. And there you go. This is what we're going to be collecting our stuff on. Now, you want to make sure you do the Piccolo Pete / Whistling Phantom. Just pull the stand off the bottom. Go for the fuse. Now, there's two ways you can do this. Definitely want to save the fuse. You want to save every fuse you get. This is going to be the longest, biggest fuse, so this is going to be your main fuse. So, put that aside. Somewhere where you won't lose it. Now, there's two ways of gathering this powder. The most difficult way will get you the most. The easiest way will get you a decent amount. So the most difficult way, I'll show you, but I'm not going to do it because it's going to take a while. I'm going to do the easiest way because I don't want too much powder because we're on a small scale. Basically just rip and rip and rip. Now keep in mind, we're not making a bomb. We're not making anything crazy here. This is not nothing too scary. All this is going to do is make a mine type firework, which you'll see in a minute what a mine actually is. It's a very, very small scale one. If anything, it's still, if you were to light this next to a Safe and Sane firework, it would be hard to tell the difference. It would be about the height of a pretty decent sized Safe and Sane firework, keep in mind though. So the hardest way is finding the crease at which it is sealed. Now, I don't know if you can see the crease, but you can kind of see where it's tearing right there. But that's the crease. So basically, what you want to do is kind of peel this all back at once and kind of unwrap the whole tube, and then you'll get to the powder part. There's a clay bottom. This clay bottom is white, so it's going to blend in with the actual gunpowder, and I believe Piccolo Pete's have a gray or actual clay color, so more of a peachish, tannish color, so it's easier to tell. So this one's a lot more hard to tell when you're actually at the core, or the clay, I mean. So now you basically peel, but that's if you want to harvest the most possible gunpowder. The easiest way, probably also the fastest way, depending on how well you do it, as you can use your hands or get some pliers and basically pinch. Now, since there's only one, I'm going to go ahead and directly put it into the firework. So we're going to move the camera up a little bit here so you guys can kind of see what's going on. So I'm just pushing. Well, don't push too hard, but you could push pretty hard on these. It'll be fine. Basically, you're breaking up the compacted powder inside here. Now, this is pretty safe to do what I'm doing right now with a metal tool, because there's still the cardboard breaking up the powder and the metal tool. So what we're doing is A-okay now. Now I would recommend a nail, anything that'll pierce cardboard, nothing too sharp, doesn't have to be anything crazy. So I'm just gonna use this little knife on this handy dandy tool. You can use a knife. Now I'm gonna pierce this. Maybe is a little iffy, but I'm going on cardboard. There won't be any sparks flying. We'll be A-okay. Just gotta poke a hole in the bottom here. I'm gonna have to go off camera here to get a good grip. I have a hole. Don't think you can see it, but this is where our fuse goes in. Make sure you get it pretty decent in there. Now make sure you get, now that your fuse is in there, now all you want to do, make sure your fuse is also low into the firework. You don't want it to be towards the top. You want it to hit the flash powder. Now this is a pain. Trying to get the fuse as far as down there as I can. I don't have my thing to pack it down in there. I have a wooden little stick that I usually use, but this will have to do. Just getting it packed down there. It doesn't have to be perfect. Alright, so once we have our fuse in there, we can get our crackle balls open. Now, also, since this is such a wide hole, and remember, you want every fuse you get out of this, I would advise to open up the crackle ball up over this so you make sure you gather all the little crackle balls out of it. Just open it up. I know it's hard to see because my hand's in the way. I'll go at a different angle, but make sure you get the fuses out of the paper. Put them to the side where you don't lose them. I'm going to go at a different angle so you guys can actually see what I'm doing here. So, opening it up, tossing the plastic to the side, opening this paper up very carefully. Carefully as in just so I don't drop any of these little crackling stars, dragon eggs, whatever you want to call them. Then once it's open, all you gotta do, turn it upside down, and there you go. Keep the fuse, and that's all you do. So, you can continue. 6 done. All you gotta do is gather up your fuses. Now, since you had 6 crackle balls, you should have 6 fuses. So basically, I'm just going to show you what to do on one fuse. So one fuse is, now you can cut these. I would use non-sparking scissors if you do tend to cut these, but since a lot of people don't have those, we're just going to use this method where basically we just tie it into another knot. Simple as that. Just tying a little knot. So your final product is this mangled, knotted fuse. And we put it in there. Now, there's actually kits you can get to make your own flying fish mines and stuff, which are pretty cool, but this is kind of similar. Cheaper, I think those kits run you anywhere from $40+, and that's on the low end. So Piccolo Pete's cost you what? $5. Crackling balls cost you $2.99. Neat little project you can do. Fairly safe if you do it all right. I don't like to disturb my neighbors with my fireworks at night, so I do them in the daytime. Anyway, so let's go light this guy off.
And there you go. I assure you that looks 1,000 times better at night. And you just made a firework on your own for less than $10. That's awesome. And here it is, it gives in slow motion. Look at the height. This is just one Piccolo Pete. Not very compact. You're able to get a couple feet. The sound is just loud. And it's just crazy the amount of height I got. And it wasn't even, you know, packed in there very tight. The tighter it is at the bottom, the more height you're going to get. But don't get too tight because pressure bursts pipes. Remember that. Same thing with fireworks. You don't want it to explode because then you just wasted your time and it's not going to look that cool. It's just going to be a glorified jumbo crackling ball. There you guys go. Cheap, easy, fun firework to make for your 4th of July. You can make 10 of them, one big one, whatever you want. Stay safe out there.